children. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is nervous system. Now before we proceed further in the nervous system, first thing which you need to know is about the nerve cell. You have studied it before from class 6 onwards, but we will just quickly revise the nerve cell. Nerve cell, as you know, is also called as neuron. So let us see the structure of nerve cell. It has a cell body which is called as cyton or perikaryon. Now in this there are granules present which are called as Nissl granules. Then there is a nucleus, and from it arise several branches which are called as dendrons or dendrites. One of the branch is very long and it is known as axon. Now in the axon, if you look carefully, axon consists of there are parts of axons in which are separated by spaces that is called as road of Ranvier. And the whole of the axon is covered by two layers. First is the neurilemma and the other one is myelin sheath. And in the axon also nucleus are present. The axon branches at the end, and these branches are known as axon endings. So this is the complete structure of neuron, which is the which plays a major role in the whole of nervous system. Now what is the use of nervous system in our body? Nervous system is responsible for any type of activity which our body is performing. It is also responsible for our intelligence, memory and other things. So in all, it is the most important, you can say it is the most important system in our body. So before we proceed further, there are a few terms with which you should be familiar. First is stimulus. What is stimulus? Any action which brings about a change in the body, that is known as stimulus. That stimulus is perceived by our sense organs. Then next is response. The change in the body, like suppose somebody pricks you with a pen. So this action of pricking you with a pen is a stimulus, and your reaction to it, what will you do? Obviously you will remove your hand. So that is a response. So the action which the body gives to the stimulus is called as response. Then there is receptors. What are receptors? These are those organs, actually they are the sense organs, which receive the stimulus and send it to the central nervous system, either to the brain or to the spinal cord. And then next is effectors. Whatever, after receiving the stimulus, whatever the brain or spinal cord decides, then that message is brought to the organ which will show the reaction. That is called as effectors. It is not necessary that the organ which is receiving the stimulus will be the organ which will be showing the reaction. That means it's not necessary that the receptor and effector organ will be the same. Like I gave you the example of someone pricking a needle in your hand. So obviously the action will be shown by your hand only. You will pull away your hand. But suppose you see a tiger. Now in this case the receptor is eye. And what will be your effector? Some of you might just close your eyes and stand over there. In that case the effector will be the eye. But logical thing would be to run away. So that is the effectors in that case will be your leg. So depending on person to person, the effector organ will be different. Some might start shouting, some might do something else. So whatever the response that is coming in from whichever part of your body it will be coming, that is the effector organ. Now let us see one more term, that is impulse. This conduction of the message is coming to the stimulus. From there it is the stimulus is coming to the receptors. From receptor it is going to the central nervous system, brain or spinal cord. Then it is coming to the effector. So all of this is going in the form of a wave, that is called as impulse. Okay, now see how the impulse is conducted. In the resting position, which is also called as the polarized region, sodium ions which are positively charged, they are outside the axon, and the inner side of axon is negatively charged. Whenever a stimulus is perceived, so the part of the body where stimulus is perceived, there depolarization takes place. Positive ions come inside and negative ions go outside. So this is known as the excited state or depolarized state. And the remaining axon remains in the resting condition. Now suppose that stimulus moves from here to here. Then in this case the positive ions over here will come inside, negative ions will go outside, and here it will again recover itself and positive will go out and negative will come in. So this is known as repolarization. So this is how the conduction of impulse takes place, and in this there is a change of what is coming in going out, sodium ion. So it is known as sodium pump. Sodium pump is responsible for conduction of impulse. There is the term synapse. Synapse is the point of connection between axon ending of one neuron and dendrites of another neuron. One neuron is not long enough to send the message up to the brain or spinal cord. The distance is large. So number of neurons are involved in sending that message. So from one neuron, the message goes to the other neuron through this synapse, and for that certain chemicals are also secreted to help in this process. One example is acetylcholine. That it acts as a neurotransmitter to transmit the impulse from one neuron to another neuron. Now if you look at the type of neurons, there are basically three types of neurons. First is sensory neuron. This is the neuron which senses or which receives the stimulus from the receptor organ. So from the receptor organ gets the stimulus, from that the neuron through its dendrite gets perceives the stimulus and it passes it on to another neuron which will take it to the central nervous system, and from there message comes from central nervous system to the muscle or gland which will be performing the action. So here this neuron which is connected to the organ performing the action, it is called as motor neuron. And the neurons in between, they are known as association neuron. Association neurons may be present, may not be present, depending upon how far how much the distance is. But these are the three types of neurons. Association, they form a connection between sensory neurons and motor neurons. Okay. Now, so just like there are three types of neurons, there are also three types of nerves. What is a nerve? See, you've seen a bouquet of flowers. So what happens? The flowers, they form a big bunch on top, and the stems, they are in a small bundle which is not occupying much space together, and that those stems can be tied together. So same is the case over here. The dendrites, they form a bunch on top, that is called as the ganglia. Ganglia is the bunch of cyton portion of the neuron which is broader on top, and nerve is the axon part of the nerve cells which are bundled together and covered by myelin sheath. So there are just like three types of neurons are there. There are three types of nerves. First is sensory nerve, which takes the message from receptor organ to the brain or spinal cord. Then this is motor nerve that brings message from brain or spinal cord to the organ which is going to perform the action. What is that organ called as? It is the muscle or the effector organ, it is called as muscle or gland. Okay, and mixed nerve consists of both sensory and motor. This is in those cases where the same organ is performing the, it's getting the receptor as well as, it's getting the stimulus as well as performing the action. So when the receptor and the effector are the same, then in that case mixed nerves. Alright, so this is about a little bit idea about how the impulses are conducted. In the next video we will study about the structure of brain in detail.